And welcome back to 4-1 Forward. We are talking about President Trump's visit to Kenosha and his Buy American, Hire American executive order. We're again joined by Brian Albrecht. He's here with Gateway Technical College. And we are also joined by Matt Janisin, the National Training Manager at Gateway. Matt, thank you for coming in. Who is the American worker of the future?
Well, all of the American workers coming up are already in school. So right now we're looking at trying to bring in students from either elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and get them to understand the dignity of work and understand the skills that they're going to need for all sorts of jobs and how technical colleges can help them align their skills to these needed jobs.
What kind of jobs are we talking about?
A lot of high-paying manufacturing jobs, high-skilled technical careers as far as being a technician. Things that are manufactured, those plants, whether it's a car, they're going to need technicians to keep them on the road, keep them up and running. As we mentioned earlier, self-driving cars. Technology keeps changing, and the skills that the students are going to need are going to have to change with that.
So who is that student that's coming through your front door? You're in the classrooms, you're on the front lines of this. What are they excited about doing, and what do they need to know about what they need to learn?
Well, a lot of it starts with a good foundation. Obviously, they need to have a high-level reading skill, writing skill, be able to communicate, and then they can start to apply that technically in understanding how complex systems work with electronics, automation, sensors, being able to put things together and understand how they work in synergy, and being able to diagnose when one part starts to go bad. How's that going to impact the entire system, and be able to critically think and problem solve through those new problems that typically we haven't had to deal with before.
Brian, I was surprised when we started the broadcast that we heard from one of the school teachers that $70,000 is the starting pay for some of these jobs.
Absolutely.
So, so often we hear about parents want their kids to go to these other schools to get that 4-year degree, which may be good for a lot of folks. But what kind of student is coming in at your college? Have they already tried the job market and couldn't get something, and then they're now trying to get retooled themselves for a job?
Yeah, I think, technical colleges serve an open door access, so we do serve a lot of adults that are returning to upgrade their skills and maybe look for a new career path. But we also serve a lot of first-time college students entering directly from high school or other places. I think Matt makes a really good statement that the workforce of the future is already in school. While we're a 2-year technical college, we work with our high schools and our middle schools to help create greater awareness, pathways for students to think about where career options might be. I think the success of Wisconsin's technical colleges has been that our programs are directly aligned with the needs of employers. So when 98% of our employers across the state are satisfied with our graduates, we know we're doing some right things to help young people make good decisions about their career path.
When they graduate from your school, how many jobs are waiting for them?
Hundreds. We see a job listing. I mean, if you go to the Department of Workforce Development's job posting right now, there's 48,800 jobs available in the state of Wisconsin. Many of those are manufacturing jobs. So I think it's important that we think about how we deliver education and provide options for students. So as parents work with their young people to consider what career paths there are, it's not a dead-end road. You can start at a 2-year college, advance to a 4-year college. You can go to a 4-year college and come back to a 2-year college. It's a lifelong learning model. Adults, young people all need to start thinking about how do they continue to maintain their skill development.
The president signed this executive order, but one of the things I also hear from Governor Walker and others is that there needs to be more when it comes to job training. Did you have any conversation with him about that and sort of the dollars for that and sort of the retraining and the need to train a labor force that's ready to go?
Yeah, let me first give credit to Governor Walker for his investments. The Fast Forward initiative has put millions of dollars into the Wisconsin's training programs through our technical colleges, whether it's at MATC or Waukesha County Technical College, Gateway. We've all benefited from that. So that infrastructure investment is really beginning to pay dividends. When the president spoke about the manufacturing initiatives, if we're going to have infrastructure bills and do a lot of high-tech work, it's going to have to start with the American worker, which starts in the classrooms of America. When we believe that the technical college and community colleges play a critical role in building that link between K-12 education and the job site.
So Matt, when you're in the classroom and you're talking to them, is there some guidance? I mean, they're looking for, like, I've got this skill set, so how do I match my skill set, my interests, to the right job that might be out there in the markets?
So when we're talking to students, they're very interested in technology and the latest and greatest thing, and that's a great passion to have. When you start to align that and look for, all right, where are the technical skills that you can go out and get that job and kind of have a pathway again. You don't have to always get the 4-year degree right away, as Brian mentioned. Get your 2-year degree. Maybe it's engineering, maybe it's in a technical technician field, and then from that point, get some work experience, see where that may lead to, and then from that point you can adjust your educational goals and continue to meet your career path.
Brian, how optimistic are you about the manufacturing field? It can be cyclical. It can see some ups and downs. How do you do that with those challenges?
I couldn't be more optimistic. I think, just the examples that the President shares and helping to understand that there are so many great opportunities not only to rebuild what we're doing currently, but to think about the future. We know the types of programs that our students are excited about. They're highly integrated with technology. They create even greater opportunities for us to create new products and new processes. And I think manufacturing is the lifeblood of what we all do. I mean, we wouldn't eat without it. We wouldn't drive without it. We wouldn't produce this program today without it. So we know it is a part of Wisconsin's DNA, and it will continue to be a part of our future.
Matt, quick question. What is the #1 job out there right now that you're training for?
The one that we find most is, diesel technician and then industrial maintenance. Okay. All of those high-end machines, they need to be repaired and maintained.
Matt, Brian, thank you very much for being here. Coming up.